and welcome to another tutorial from CamiPaige Boutique. I'm Brooke Tannehill, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made this Halloween burst with Epoxy Drip Custom Tumbler. As always, all the products I use will be listed in the description below, and you may even find a coupon code or two that saves you some coin. Also, come join our exclusive Facebook group where you can take advantage of upcoming freebies and giveaways that you aren't going to want to miss. So without further hesitation, let's go ahead and get started. This cup is inspired by the Peachy Olive Glitters Hocus Pocus Halloween bundle. I was able to snag one and it was so amazing because it came with the 3 glitters that you see there and 4 decals that are absolutely amazing. So as soon as I got it, I had to start this cup. So this is a 20-ounce straight skinny. It is fully prepped and sanded. And what I'm doing is I am just coming in with this Kelly Green paint from Miss Lillian's No Wax Chalk paint. And I am laying the groundwork down for where we're going to be applying our glitters. So I'm going to do a little bit of a different spin on the burst kind of templates that you see there. But I really want to still have this nice pop of color behind the paints, as you can see here. So I start again with the Kelly Green, and then I'm coming in with Wild Violet, which is just this amazing, super vibrant purple paint. And again, I'm just kind of roughly, but still having a plan, laying down the paint to kind of work as the guide for when we're going to be applying our glitters. So I'm just going to do 1 coat of this, let that fully dry, and then come in with another coat. Now this paint dries in about 10 minutes, but I did speed it up with my paint gun. So I did come in with a second coat, and then it was time to move in with our glitter. Once that second coat of paint is dry, I put the glitters in these little kind of medicine cups that you see here, and I mixed up about 10 milliliters of epoxy. So this is just Artistry's 1-in-1 fast set, and I'm applying probably 1 to 2 milliliters over the entire surface of the cup, like you see here. Now, I did apply a little bit more than I typically do just because we're going to be using these chunky mixes, but this way I have really good adhesion of all the glitter colors that we'll be using. So the first glitter up is called Amuck, and this is such a beautiful glitter. It's got mixes of the matte glitters that really have the vibrant colors mixed in with kind of like the super glossy and sparkly beautiful glitters all in one. So I highly recommend this. And all I'm doing is I'm roughly kind of sprinkling the glitter every which way. So I'm going up into the purple, still leaving some open spots in that middle section. So it's kind of that like almost beautifulness of the Amuck glitter just kind of exploded into the center of the cup. So again, kind of that rough take on the burst that you've seen before. After that was done, I'm coming in with Double Dare. And the reason why I put the chunky first is because I really wanted to make sure that it had good placement. But then I'm coming over with the Double Dare, which is a finer cut of this kind of neon green color, and just filling it in and starting my ombre. So I'm really focusing on the center, tilting my cup down and starting to ombre that green glitter into the purple, so we get that nice kind of spooky blend of the colors. And you can see that that Double Dare just adds a really nice oomph to the Amuck that we put down first. So kind of started that, and then we came in with Belieber. Now Belieber is one of my favorite purples anyway, and then when it was in this pack I was just so excited. But what we're going to do is just start blending this kind of purple mix into the Amuck and the Double Dare that we had laid down first. So don't forget your butt like you see there, but it's kind of this just double ombre. So I started with the bottom, and then I'm going to come into the top and again start to fade that purple into the green and the Amuck chunky mix that we had already laid down. Now I purposely put some of the chunky mix into the purple so you can see the little speckles there, but I wanted to kind of create again that spooky ombre that's giving me more of those Halloween vibes. Once I was happy with the glitter coverage, I just rolled the cup on cardstock, made sure all the pokey bits were nice and pushed down, spray sealed this twice with Rust-Oleum clear gloss spray paint, went in with 2 coats of epoxy, sanded it until I was happy with a nice smooth surface, and then it was time to do our drips. For our drips, I mixed up 20 milliliters of Artistry's 1-in-1 fast set, and then just added a few drops of black acrylic paint. And what you want to do is, it's kind of sucks, but you need to babysit your epoxy. And what you're doing is you're just going to want to like constantly kind of stir it, about 10-15 minutes with a fast set, just so you can start to see the right viscosity. So I know it's a sped up, but what I'm doing is I'm just constantly mixing the epoxy to make sure that it's getting to that right thickness to where it's not going to be too runny down the sides of my cup, but it's runny enough to where I get that nice drip that I'm going for. So you kind of just want to babysit the epoxy. And what's going to happen is when it starts to really slowly drip down the sides of the cup and not just kind of quickly drop to the bottom of the medicine cup, that's how you know it's ready. You'll start to really see that it's thickening up. It's not moving quite as much, but I let that sit and I was babysitting it. And at the same time, I grabbed some black, just kind of normal acrylic paint that we put into the epoxy. And I am going just to add a nice stripe at the top. Now, the reason why we do this is because a lot of times when you're using an epoxy drip with acrylic paint, it gets kind of thin at the top and you can see through it and it shows the glitter. So I wanted to avoid that. So I'm just doing a little bit of acrylic paint, and then I'm coming in with the epoxy. So you can see how it's kind of stringy and really thick, and it's staying at the top of my cup until I drop it down to start the drip process. But I'm just getting a healthy amount on my stick, and I'm just kind of moving around and just applying that nice healthy kind of heap of it to give me that really nice drip effect. So I'm moving pretty quickly because you only have a small window with this. I hate to kind of be the bearer of bad news, but you do need to move quickly. Make sure that you have that top rim nice and coated, and then I'm going to turn the cup down and just gently kind of set it down on the cup or on the table, and then just kind of tap it every so slightly. Now, I did take a paper towel and kind of clean up any of the little spots that I had the stringy bits on it, but just slightly tapping and just kind of letting it sit, and you'll see that you start to get this nice drip effect that is just enough for this cup. Now, you could do more, you could do less, you could have them a lot thicker by applying more epoxy. I just wanted kind of a subtle, kind of in-between drip, I guess you could say. So I'm just kind of watching it and babysitting it, and once I'm happy with the placement, I'm gonna come in with Batman from Peachy Olive Glitter. Now, the reason why I waited till I was happy with the drips is because once you apply the glitter to the drips, it kind of slows down the drip process. So you want to make sure that you're happy with them before you apply the glitter, and then the glitter kind of stops them in their tracks. So I let that sit. I cleaned off any kind of extra glitter that might have attached to the cup from that little bit of excess epoxy there. I let that dry for probably about a good 4 hours because it was a fast set, and then I'm coming in here with an epoxy layer just to make sure that I have those drips nice and coated. And also, because we're going to be using a clear cast decal, you want a nice glossy surface to apply those to. So the cup was sanded when I did the drips, so now that the drips are dry, I'm coming in and just applying a nice thin coat of epoxy. This is Artistry's 1-to-1 fast set, so I think I used maybe 20 milliliters. I'm really thinking probably like 15, and then I'm just adding a quick coat of that, and then I'm going to let this turn for about 1 to 2 hours, and then it'll be time to apply our clear cast decals. I gave the cup a good torching because I changed my mind halfway through. I was just going to leave just the black drip that you see here, but I got these amazing sprinkles in the mail from Peachy Olive Glitter, and I decided to use them because they had the cauldrons. It tied into the whole Hocus Pocus theme, and I liked the white bubbles, the stars, and the sprinkles. So what I did is I just opened the package and I just got a pair of my weeding tweezers, and I just gently placed the sprinkles kind of every which way to really add that little extra detail to the cup. These are so cute, and I think they were just released on the Peachy Olive Glitter website, so definitely go check them out. But I just took my time kind of applying them every which way. I didn't use the black sprinkles because this obviously is a black drip, but I just kind of added these little details every here and there, just kind of gently placing them and making sure that they were pushed down into the epoxy, and so they were nice and adhered, and just let them spin while the epoxy was curing with that fast set that we applied. So just take your time, make sure that you like the placement of your sprinkles, but I thought they were so cute not to use, and the colors definitely matched the glitter and the other design elements that we were using. once that epoxy was fully dry, I grabbed one of the decals that came in the Halloween Hocus Pocus bundle and applied it to the cup. Now this is a white ink decal, so it really pops on all of the colors that we applied, and it was so easy. It just literally, you peel it and stick it. Also in that same bundle, there were a bunch of this little bat decals, and I thought it was perfect to kind of just bring into the cup. So I just cut the decal up into little kind of just little sets of bats here and there and applied them to the surface of the cup. Again, these are so easy to use that I thought it was a nice added detail that made this even more Halloween-y to went with the overall theme. So just cutting the decals and placing them every which way, and then I also cut some bats just to apply to the bottom of the cup because I thought it would be super cute to have just kind of a nice added detail to the bottom as well. So I placed that last one right there and then added the rest of the 3 to the butts. Once those were applied, we went in with another coat of epoxy. I think I used maybe about 20 milliliters just to make sure that everything was sealed in, let that cure, and then did one final coat just to make sure that we have plenty of epoxy coverage over the entire cup, and this baby was done. Growing up in the 90s, Hocus Pocus was such a huge part of our Halloween traditions that it was amazing to pay homage to the Sanderson sisters with this cup. I hope this tutorial inspired you, and I can't wait to see what you create. If you have any questions about any of the steps or information, please feel free to reach out and I'll be more than happy to help. As always, thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me. If you liked this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see future videos. You can also ring the bell so you're notified of all future cup making goodies. Thank you again. Love you guys. Bye.